The NFL Super Wildcard Weekend is here, and teams are looking for free agents to address their major needs. Everyone wants the best player, so this running back will be the right choice for some teams, Saquon Barkley. The team is planning on extending the contracts of two players beyond this season. They are quarterback Daniel Jones and running back Saquon Barkley. But Barkley seems to be the favorite to reach free agency. There's no doubt that the teams will be interested to see how he performs in his first postseason appearance. After all, he's proved himself to be the top dual threat in the league. Well, yes, when he's healthy. This decision is going to cost them millions, though. That's because Barkley's projected market value is $11.9 million annually. Besides this, he could actually provide a lot for the Chicago Bears. Chicago has a young quarterback, Justin Fields, but they haven't really surrounded him with talent. Adding Barkley to the squad would be the right choice. He could help Fields on the ground. Chicago also has the most projected cap space in the league. The same goes for the Houston Texans, with a projected cap space of $40.8 million. They could do well with a dual threat like Saquon. Their running back, Dameon Pierce, hasn't quite lived up to the expectations. The team is probably going to use one of their 2 first-round picks on a quarterback. Having Saquon on the team would help their quarterback a lot.
Standard zone, they got zone. There's Barkley, picks his way into the end zone, head over heels for the Giants touchdown.
Speaking of quarterbacks, these two players are potential candidates, Tom Brady and Geno Smith. Tom's turning 46 this year, so he can't be a good fit for every team, but he can be a possible choice for a team with a strong roster, such as the Las Vegas Raiders. In fact, there have been a lot of rumors going on about his acquisition. This comes after the team got a new head coach, Josh McDaniels. He also happens to be Tom's former Patriots coordinator. It's also been reported that the Raiders are trying to get rid of Derek Carr this offseason. No one can be a better replacement than Tom Brady. The bigger question is whether the player is ready for another season. If yes, then with which team he thinks he can win another championship. As for Smith, he still lacks the GOAT resume, but he's proved to be better than Brady last year. After all, he posted an incredible passer rating of 100.9 during a resurgent season. At 32, he could be a good fit for almost any team that needs an opening quarterback. And that franchise could be the Indianapolis Colts. They're just a quarterback away from having the best squad. They already have a star running back, Jonathan Taylor, and some promising young receivers like Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman Jr. What's amazing, both of these teams have massive cap space. Interestingly, Tom's former teammate is also going to be on everyone's radar.
In 2020, David and the Buccaneers saw things falling into place.
Picked off by
Lavonte David. At 32, he's in the back half of his career, but he remains one of the best linebackers in the league. It's true his performance wasn't the best this season. Still, he managed to have a respectable OPR of 90.9. His projected market value is around $9.7 million. So he'd be the ideal choice for any team looking for a good linebacker without breaking the bank. This makes him the top choice for Seattle. During the last season, they struggled against the run. With a cap space of $47.5 million, the franchise could easily justify spending money on Lavonte. In this way, they can address their biggest defensive liability. Besides this, the Detroit Lions should be interested in him as well. They have a projected cap space of $17.9 million. With a better defense, David could prove to be the right fit, but they're likely going to address their defense first. This means they should keep an eye out for this next player as well, Poona Ford. Okay, he might not be a household name, but it's high time that the team should check him out ahead of free agency. He's an incredible defender who's had 3 consecutive strong campaigns, and acquiring him won't really be heavy on the pocket because his projected market value is $9.2 million. The Cleveland Browns should make an effort to snag this powerhouse. Well, they need to clear some cap space first. They currently stand with just $9.7 million in cap space. But you can't deny that they're in dire need of a good defender. They've been lacking here for quite some time now, so Ford is definitely a realistic target for them at this point. The Texans should also take a close look at Ford and every other available frontline defender. Fortunately, they have got a lot of cap space to spend, and the franchise desperately needs to improve its defense. After all, it's arguably the worst in the league. The team finished 29th in yards allowed per carry this season. Besides this, they were literally dead last in rushing yards surrendered. Obviously, they want to make an improvement this season, so they must start looking out for the right options. Adding Ford to the team could assist them in achieving their goal. He could also provide a pass-rushing presence on the interior.
It's Moss, spins away from one, busts it to the outside, and he is devoured.
Looks like a lot of defenders are available this season, with another one being Davlin Tomlinson. The Vikings' defense has been the absolute worst this season. They finished the regular season with 31st rank in yards allowed. It's also true that Dalvin Tomlinson had a fantastic season. He played really well even after being surrounded by a lackluster supporting team. His current market value is $8.5 million annually. This doesn't make him a top-tier defender. Still, he can be a logical target for the Browns if they're able to free up some cap space. In addition, the Atlanta Falcons also need a sensible defender like Tomlinson. They had the lowest rushing yards last season, and Dalvin would be an excellent addition to their defensive line to address the issues. They won't have any trouble chasing him. After all, they've $56.4 million in cap space. What's more, he would be the right target for the Chicago Bears as well. They also need to focus on a number of defensive needs, especially after trading Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn before the in-season deadline. They ranked last in the yards allowed during the regular season. No doubt there are a lot of defenders to choose from. Pulling away Tomlinson would make plenty of sense. Aside from defense, safety is another weak point for many teams. They should target this player to address their needs. Jordan Poyer. He's had an interesting career to say the least, and now he's one of the top safeties headed to the open market this season. With a market value of $11 million, he won't be a fit for every franchise. The Patriots should target him. They've been thin at safety for a while now. Besides this, New England is going to be competitive this year. Interestingly, they also have the cap space to run after Poyer. The Bengals should also make an effort to sign him. The franchise is expected to have $48.4 million in cap space. This allows them to be one of the major players in the open market, and Poyer should be among their top targets if Bell and Bates depart, because he has plenty of experience playing both free and strong safety. I'd also mention that their quarterback, Joe Burrow, is eligible for an extension this offseason. Still, their cap space won't be greatly affected, even if they plan on extending Burrow. These were some of the defenders that the NFL team should target during the Super Wildcard weekend. See you in the next video.
Did exactly what I talked about a moment ago. They go two verticals, and they put the pressure then on the safety.
The knee is down, so
that's going to count.
It's good.
Rowe with a hit.
And Sealer with the...
That Knox could have caught it. This is why Josh Allen...
a good ball comes out of his hands.
And right when I say he's going to take off and have a big time, no! Oh, in the only spot.
With the touchdown and the lead.
I mean, nothing's open. Nothing's open. Josh is rolling out, and he's like, nothing there.
Their biggest gain of the night, 30 yards for the touchdown to Jones. And he had to make a decision.
But the defender's not looking at him, so he throws it right behind his ear hole. Streak going, but what a throw and catch. Right there.
With the two deep safety look.
And it's toward the end zone.